I don't have to train him all the way. I just want to train him a little bit. You know, show him the ropes.
He just wants to have a little fun.
Knock him down a hill. Throw him down to the bottom level of Coruscant. See what happens.
Yeah, so I guess you're Bard.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not Bard.
The Bard.
You're Bard. You just lied about who you were, and now he thought he was trained by Bard all this time. That's how good Bard is.
Yeah, now you have to go seduce a great dragon. Otherwise, you're not a Bard.
Yep.
No.
You failed.
Yeah, I suppose you could train young Talon if you wanted to do something with them.
Yeah, I don't have to be Bard. I just have to, you know, do something
Yeah.
fun. Throw him, like I said, throw him down to the bottom level. See if he can climb his own way back up. I want to say that when he gets back, he'll have he'll get a kick out of that one.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's beautiful. Definitely go with that.
It hurts to sit up straight.
Yeah.
Probably not good.
That's no good. I'm gonna grab a drink and then we can talk about it.
Well, I tried. So since two people are gone, I'll talk about this now. But like, I tried burnout exercises today, like maxing out. I just went crazy on the push-ups. It's like I'm just like I'm feeling it. I sometimes it's fun to max out. Definitely not advisable, but sometimes it's nice just to see what your limit is.
Which is probably further than you think.
Yeah, like I got to like, I think I hit like 72. I'd say like probably 55 were good, like maybe 50 or actual real. But yeah, it's like maxing out is it's nice to see progression over time.
Neat.
Oh yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna throw young Talon down to the bottom level of Coruscant and see if he can climb his way back up.
That doesn't sound too different from what Bard would have done. However, you have to deal with the fact that Bard currently exists and is training him.
Yeah, but who says there can't be two, fool? Again, obviously you wouldn't remember me.
How do you approach young Talon?
I mean, he saw me earlier today, or earlier when we were talking with his master.
Well, he didn't know Carlea was there.
Yeah, he was not actively aware of the situation.
Didn't you say he was outside?
Yes, that doesn't mean he knows. Do you have any idea how big the crowds on Coruscant are?
I'm not saying he knows who I.
No, he probably wouldn't have seen you at all. When I say outside, I mean like he was.
Remember when I said I was going to go out and talk to him, but we never did that because I got thrown into the conversation?
Oh no, I said no.
Yeah, but you were talking, so and also being bullied by your former master. So.
So you
really
introduced yourself. You introduced yourself.
I did it the same way you introduced yourself to me during the first session.
But we aren't in the middle of a forest. Talon's probably practicing parkour right now.
Yeah, and I can probably keep up because.
That is a bold assumption. Let's do it.
I can't keep up with your Talon.
No, I know. So
pre-game start Talon, yes.
No. Okay, let's see. My athletics pre-game start, I had the enhancement thing. I only had about one force rating there. I had class skill and brawn of, was it 3 or 4? Because my brawn I started very high with. I think it was 4.
So you guys at the level of Jedi Masters now?
Definitely.
Like
so, and my specialization gave me. Sorry, my career. Okay, so he's got 4 greens and a force die.
4 greens and a force die?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I think I have some XP to spend, so if I do,
wow.
Definitely beat him. Yeah. Okay. So.
Put
what,
young
athletics?
Talon in his place.
Yeah, that's right. Can't
I
show
would
normal
have.
Talon, show his younger side.
Yeah, I believe I would have I would have a full 6. and
Well, what's your
then
brawn right now?
I can use force die to get it all the way up.
Oh, okay.
So 2 yellows and 4 greens. So it's definitely better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, do you have skills in athletics?
Greens-ish.
I can't.
Why would you waste your XP on that?
Because it's fun, and I really don't know what else I want to do with this character at this point.
You should.
Let him do his thing. He's found his path.
Actually, wait, that doesn't even count morally. That doesn't even count Standbot 2, who just has natural 6 strength, so he can use his 3 force die plus whatever athletics.
So he's got similar to Talon with 6 strength,
Yeah, 6 strength,
2 athletics,
3
and
force.
3 force.
Yep. Though I don't know. With the 3 force die, I don't think I would need to spend XP on athletics for him, because 3 force die, a triumph would be nice.
Yeah, so if you want to beat him in this parkour athletics thing, you would just need to roll against his. So like that would be your difficulty die is his roll.
Yep.
So
I'm just gonna go for both.
The spite.
Yes,
I love
this
it.
is literal spite, but it's fun.
I guess for the sake of it, just say he commits that dice, so it's 5 purples.
5 purples.
Yeah, we'll just say for the sake of it. Makes it easier.
Yep.
I
So
downgrade
this
it by 2.
is.
Alex, what
Cigar smoke clouds Talon's eyes.
Actually, am I watching this? Can I root my dearest friend on right now?
Sure.
am I within proximity? Because I might want to get involved in this race
I
too.
walk over there, put a hand on standby.
No, this was
and
this
say,
was happening when you were still getting bullied.
All right. This is fine. I walk over there, put a hand on standby, and say, "Hey, buddy."
Wait, hold on. That whole I'd like to say that whole altercation took like 2 or 3 minutes. How could you have possibly had the time to go outside and race him?
I'm not racing him. I'm just catching up.
Well,
to him.
yes, to catch up to him.
Okay,
You'd have
wait,
to
Nick, are you
climb up a
gonna-
building
Hold on.
first.
I'm gonna give you a hug. Hold up. Hey, buddy, you're gonna do just okay against this younger version.
Okay, let's
yeah.
say we do this after. Well, you guys are doing something. I think I succeed.
I mean, you can do it afterwards. Talon will just be there to witness.
Yeah, Talon will be there. There to
This-
witness.
This gives me a chance to start filling up the universal boost die pool.
Okay,
anyway.
how many boosts do I get off of that, Nick?
Just take 1.
Hey, Alex, I got a question.
I'm not gonna waste that XP.
What would I need to roll against for perception for Talon to be able to realize what Stanbot's getting ready to do?
And I'll put two boost die in the universe.
I don't think that's possible.
I don't see him getting ready to start sprinting towards young Talon.
I mean, like I guess, but like insight is not its own roll.
Cancels.
Would it just-
I succeed quite handily. With. I guess I have 1 threat.
I mean, again, like Talon, just think about your character. Like this is a growing opportunity potentially for
Yeah,
your younger
this is-
self.
So
It's not like
and
something
then
bad is gonna happen.
we get to do Standbot 2.
Wait, is Stanbot 2 down with this? I thought you guys had different personalities.
We're
Standby
still the
2
same.
wants
We
to
have
upgrade.
slightly different person. We're still the same person, but we do have slightly different personalities.
They're still actively looking for the dub skis.
They're the same person, except Standbot 2 has been twisted by living 1,000 lifetimes.
Yeah.
He still wants the
I
epic dub skis,
succeed.
just like regular
I-
Standbot.
This one succeeds without anything. Also, they may also be competing to see who gets to the other one first. To young Talon first.
Alright, well, Talon's definitely going to get a late start to this, but he's going to notice it at some point. So I'm going to go ahead.
You notice it when we're walking down. We're walking down the street, and suddenly we both peel off into nowhere.
Talon, when you get back, do you want a high five too?
Sure. Talon just kind of flexes his calf muscles. What am I rushing? Well, I guess I'd play against theirs, so it's 6 purples.
Also, would Talon even know what we... Okay, this is role-playing wise getting confusing because when did we do this? Were we just walking and the two Stanvots noticed young talent?
I don't know. You got like
No.
that's I have to imagine that's what you're doing. But that's the sort of thing where it's like I feel like
Then
that
we'd have to
wouldn't
make a perception
that
check.
yeah that wouldn't really be too feasible for you to be able to do that because like I said he's training to be a sentinel, which means he'd probably be like stalking someone right now.
Again, he's also training.
Alright, Talon.
Well, yeah,
hypothetical
he-
boost die.
Yeah, so he's not particularly as skilled as normal Talon now, but he'd still be like stalking someone right now, and you could like pretty severely mess that up.
I mean, even young Talon's stealth. I don't think Talon has not failed a stealth check.
No, I have. The very
He's
first one I ever
failed-
made.
The very first one he ever made, he
Okay.
failed quite horrendously, by the way.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
remember.
I remember him having quite a good stealth pool.
Yeah, pretty much always.
You get a
He
boost die.
has. But
Yeah, I've
also,
pretty much
you
always
said
had
that
it.
he mostly trains at night, so right now he might just be playing around.
Well, I meant like he kind of sleeps during the day, plays during the night. Not plays, trains. I was kind of assuming this meeting to be around like evening or something.
Train hard.
It's like when he was first meeting with like when he
He
was
could
like
be
first
going
meet with
to
Barden.
He could be going to meet.
Okay, yeah, we could say that. Like as we were walking to the after we finished making the reservation, we were kind of walking through the streets, and you guys saw him.
Yeah. Okay, so have you rolled yet?
Oh.
Okay,
So
so
get a
the
boost
roll
die
the
from me.
the roll to beat is I think Stanvat 1 had 4 extra successes. So
Okay, let's see. So 2.
Take this boost die from me. Take it.
Oh, okay. Oh, whoops.
Something to do with
Those canceled out.
yeah, those cancel. I saw.
Yeah. Okay, so I have 3 successes and 4 advantage.
Okay, so you don't quite get as many successes, but you have more advantages than.
Hey, what if I said flip
Yeah, I
destiny
got one.
points?
Or
No.
no. The answer is no.
The answer is no. This is a game, Nick. This is
Take
not
the
Legendary.
take the universal bonus die. They're not doing anything.
Alex, this would be a great time for that, if you know what I mean.
Hold on. Wait, I got this. I can use 2 advantage to perform an immediate free maneuver. So I can Oh, this is perfect. I just got this for this. I can perform force leap at medium range as a maneuver.
This was supposed to be. How much extra time did you get, though? Like,
Oh, I don't know. I just know that I can.
this was supposed
I
to be done without you even noticing.
yeah. So I'm definitely behind, without a doubt.
And there's, yeah.
Uh,
Possibly significantly, because we might not be the greatest at stealth, but I think we can beat your perception.
yeah, probably.
Haha. Kuna no see good.
But I mean, you did try to go see young Talon earlier.
Kuna
I guess
no
we
walk good.
Didn't. It's
Kuna
because,
no
well,
stretch
if
leg pass.
I guess we wouldn't have since I realized how quick that interaction actually was.
Well, I mean, no, you did say while you do this, I'm gonna go see young Talon, and I was just like, no.
I didn't know that was supposed to be in character.
Oh, I figured it was. I mean, yeah, I'd say I'd definitely start like a bit after you guys, but the 2
seconds,
force
maybe.
the 2
But
force
obviously
leaps
your
of medium
your
range.
automatic medium range jump. It's gonna help a little bit. but-
Yeah.
He moves like a fucking anime character that has a 24 pack.
Just
Like,
like
this guy
just
is
just
gonna
like
come-
flexes his calves. It's like Kuna's like, hey, when you get back, can I have a high five? He's like, yep. Flexes his calves and just like leaps sideways.
Talon
Begins wall running.
with every bound, or you Stanbot starts running with the other Stanbot, going after young Talon, catching up to him quite quickly. You turn around because you start hearing
Also,
something crashing from the streets as it's a barbell in this giant armor just
Wait,
leaving
also-
behind paw prints every 100 feet as it's bounding towards you.
Also, is it a good idea for young Talon to figure out that there's another Barbell Jedi that he doesn't know about? Because that might be an issue, actually.
There are other Barbell Jedis.
Okay,
They're
there
just
are.
not that
By
common.
the way, Kuna's walking.
Or well, they aren't that common. Yeah, they aren't that common because yeah, Kuna doesn't even need to make a perception check because he can just follow the
As
footprints.
Yeah, Kuna, as the whoosh of Talon leaving you happens, you kind of just look at the ground where there's a dent left. You follow it, like, kind of just nod your head, and you kind of just start walking with your head down a little bit after them.
Yeah, so there are other
Knowing that no matter what you do, you will not catch up.
There are other Barbell Jedi out there. It's just that because Barbells aren't a very populous species, like they're pretty much only on Barab, there aren't going to be nearly as many. But their culture worships Jedi, so he probably wouldn't be like, he'd be like, "Whoa, you're what I'm gonna be," you know.
It's kind of a Talon speaks with Talon moment.
I
Well,
hate.
That's also why I didn't want the other Talon there, because it's kind of awkward to have two characters that are the same, because then
Speak for
role players are
yourself,
full.
Spencer. Speak for yourself.
There's a
Pat,
reason
which
they
one of you
very much
rolled
to each
lower?
other. Success wise.
Like all around wise, because like I said, you can make the
High.
immediate maneuver. So if you could make enough maneuvers, you could probably go further.
How's your day, honey?
I mean, you can only make two, but it's like, how are you? Oh, I just saw a Barbell launching himself at lightning speeds across the street.
Well, I guess Sandbot 2 rolled slightly lower, like not a whole lot.
Okay, then we can play it like this. You two are racing all along. You look behind you, and then suddenly the other Standbot is grabbed and dragged backwards. Just kind of like Talon disappears for a small amount, and then then appears in front of the other Standbot and reaches his arm out and like grabs him as he's running. And then you can go and do normal stuff. Like you can progress with whatever you're gonna do.
Okay.
But second Standbot has been kidnapped.
Standbot 2 runs and looks behind him, sees the eyes of
Sees the
just
glowing
pure-
eyes.
Sees eyes of pure malice staring right back at him as he says, "Oh shit," and is yanked backwards. Just
He
his
has a
feet
minor
start,
panic attack.
his
Is
feet
that not
keep
the first
going
time?
as he's dragged back.
He
Yeah.
may have in
Right.
fact has seen those eyes before, except it looked much more like he was a hut and Talon saw it.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I guess I'll go back to Kuna.
So are you
How-
guys done?
Do you have to be on the way back? Did you have to grab me so hard? I think you broke a rib.
Oh please, you'll be fine. You're denser than the other Standbot.
Are you a bit sore?
As we pull back up. Wait, can you
Kuna,
even
you've
tell-
maybe
Yeah, you can
walked
probably tell.
200 feet.
Well, no, I mean, if you want him to role play, I mean, if you want to role play it, you can.
Yeah,
If you want him to pretend he's you, so that way I think that I grab the. Actually, no, that's probably
No.
a bad idea.
yeah, no.
Talon would probably react badly to the possibly evil, the possibly evil one being
Yeah. Getting put back down. So how do you set me down when we get back to Kuna? Who we just left alone, and in fact he is very wanted.
Yeah, but I'd say this ordeal probably took like 20 seconds.
20 seconds top.
Yeah, it's like Talon wasn't there 1 second,
I
the
just
seas
have a
part,
story.
and then Talon returns. You know that the SpongeBob thing. You want to see me under that rock? You want to see me do it again?
That's it. Exactly. That's what just happened. Ow.
Yeah.
Can you put me down now?
Yeah, sure.
Ugh, those eyes of yours. Get them fixed. They give me a heart attack.
I mean, that's kind of like. Are you sure it was my eyes and not, my teeth? I kind of flashed my teeth
What are you
menacingly.
talking about? Look at his eyes. They're a stunning color of what
That's a good fucking question. You know, I think they were yellowed slightly to begin with.
They're a stunning and bright yellow. I don't see how you could mistake that for anything else.
That's the problem.
No, they weren't. They aren't.
Holding my rib that I think is broken.
They aren't yellow from.
Oh, you a bit sore around? Talon get a little rough in the back door?
He's gonna shoot you through his mask. He's gonna shoot you the most.
Hey, no. Talon's gonna exchange glances with Stanbot as just to say, do you think? What do you think? Reckon would happen if we slapped him at the same time?
My eyes are gonna say he's dead.
Let's do it.
And when you turn back around, I'm holding 4 stogies. Hey, want one, guys? We can totally smoke this over, right?
Okay, back to the other Stanbot who managed to catch up, I guess. Parkouring through the streets.
Yeah, you would catch up to the young Talon. What do you do?
Now, okay, can we get a perception check from young Talon to see if he notices me following him, or do I just like come up on him as he stops?
Dude, my perception. What's perception based off of?
You can do either. Yeah, young Talon, I guess, could be aware of his surroundings. So yeah, he could do a perception check against your stealth.
I mean, yeah, that would definitely be a check. That would be something he's good at.
If he just
So.
go to Batman like on the top of the building, and then I just kind of show up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we'll give him a perception check just to notice you going after him in the first place.
All right,
But
he's
I
got the
catch up with
same.
him regardless.
He's got the
Oh,
same
yeah, you
perception.
catch up with him regardless. For
Oh
sure.
wait, what's the
Oh,
difficulty?
wait, do I roll against? Do you roll that against my stealth? My
He
stealth is
he
pretty
rolls
good.
his perception against your stealth, so your stealth check would be the inverse, which would be his difficulty.
Okay.
Roll
One
your
second, I'm trying to find. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong Stanbot for that. Not that it's gonna matter. Stealth is agility based, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
gonna commit my force die to increase my stealth check a little bit.
Hey, stealth check of 10. It's possible. I've found it.
Oh, Nick, trust me, I know.
I have a very high stealth check, in case you've forgotten.
I know.
Wait, how do you have a stealth check of 10?
Because I am a
You
lonely
can
and
get
bored
me.
individual.
Okay, here's your roll, Aiden, if that's your perception right here.
Okay, your agility's pretty high.
That's just I used my force die to improve.
No, hold on, you can't.
Wait, I can't.
You dedicated your force die to bring up your
Talon
strength.
noticed. Talon
Yeah, but that was a
motherfucking
little bit ago.
noticed.
No, if you're no, because if you're chasing him right now.
You can't like.
I mean, I
Yeah, that's
succeed
okay.
regardless, but
Yeah, it would be.
yeah,
the-
he succeeds, so he knows.
Yeah, he succeeds. He would know. Okay, so what?
Okay, but you catch up regardless.
Yeah,
So where does he go? Does he just go Batman on top of a roof and I show up?
I mean, he notices you there, so yeah, I guess he'll kind of climb up, to a roof, that he knows has a spot where he can jump like through a what are those things called? It's like a chute, sort of, if he needs to escape.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Do you want me
Okay,
to
I-
roleplay
I-
young Talon?
Huh?
Do you want me to roleplay young Talon?
Sure.
Yeah, you know the character the best.
Yeah,
All right.
character. Do I get there before him or do I get there after him?
How many more successes did you have?
I had 4 successes.
Okay. I'd say what he rolled, you probably he had a bit of a lead on you, so I'd say you'd probably get there about the same time. You could probably land there on the building first if you wanted to, but I mean he's.
Oh,
I thought you were
like,
following
it's-
him.
It's like half a second before.
Yeah.
Gotta give him that half
One
second.
sec, I have to go grab something.
But
Okay,
I
I'm
was
back.
Great at Titanfall. I suck at Titanfall too.
I'm
Wait,
great
you
at
were
that.
Titanfall? Oh, okay, hold up.
No,
I'm great at
no,
Do you
Titanfall.
have it for computer?
No.
1v1,
Okay.
man, no cap.
So
3%
I guess. By the way, Kuna, you're wrong about that. You could still put like the. I don't think it's an ACOG, but you still can fucking run around and quickscope with it.
No, it's
Like I
not
run
the
into a
same.
bunch of people who do it. It's super annoying.
It's not the same, and it's magnificent.
Right.
Okay. Yeah,
You
super quick.
sound like Phoenix who exclusively uses the most overpowered weapons in Destiny.
Probably do. Hey, when you've trained for hours and hours and hours and hours using one gun with one attachment, it's just how it is.
Yes. So,
Right.
basically how we decided to do it is, I see him climbing up to the roof, and I, like, kind of beat him to the top a little.
All right.
Yo.
Who the
Do
hell are
a quick
you?
Stretch. Just a Jedi.
Really? I never would have guessed. So, what do you want?
Just thought I'd say hi, wondering what you're up to. It's not normal I see a Padawan like you running around here.
Well, it should be relatively self-explanatory if you truly are a full-fledged Jedi, what I'm doing out here.
A little bit of training, tracking a target.
Do you have Padawans of your own? Or are you a knight?
I do have Padawans of my own, in fact.
I see.
Maybe that's what I'll do for my character.
Hey, that's what I said that at the start of this. I was like, me and you need to get Padawans.
Yes. Okay.
Well, what's your creed?
Creed?
Style. Bard's
Ah.
teaching me to be a sentinel. Corleo was a consigliere. So what's yours? Mystics? Yeah, those guys. You're awfully fast for a mystic.
Am I?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing you were.
Remember, I wear a mask. Just for
Yeah.
RP purposes.
I'm guessing you were doing something very similar to what my master taught me with using the Force to augment yourself. But I mean, I don't really see too many mystics. You don't really see too many mystics doing that, at least in my experience. Usually they are more of the mind stuff. You know, the brain washy-washy.
Sometimes it's fun to get out for a run, though.
I suppose. Well, I need to meet with Bard. He's the person training me. So, unless you want to try and explain to him why I'm late, which, trust me, won't end well for either of us, do you have anything you specifically want from me?
Shoot, what do I have that I could... what could I give young Talon a tip in? Because I was gonna, I wanted to, give him a...
Oh, let me guess. I've been here long enough to get to understand the glares. I didn't think it'd be too strange, but let me guess. You're shocked at the tail. I'm not a goddamn
a barbell.
Trandoshan.
Yeah,
I'm a barbell.
Yeah, I could tell.
Well then, why are you following me? He's gonna kind of inch towards the chute. Huh?
Remember, is there... okay, what could I teach young Talon? Could I give him, a mentor discount in...
You give him a mentor discount in healing. I mean, that's... I think, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, sure. Does Talon have, a cut or something?
I think that's unlikely.
True.
I mean,
I
he
don't know,
has...
I think that someone constantly training would not have cuts. I feel like he would.
Yeah, no.
Well, I could imagine that as a human, but you gotta remember he's a barbell covered in thick scale.
Does he have, a scale that's clearly growing back from damage or something?
Hell if I know.
I'm gonna teach him
You could probably say,
let's do sense.
while you were chasing him, his tail hit a sign. So he's trying to make little notice of it, but he's kind of like...
Speaking of that tail, looks like you hit it somewhere.
And?
Let me fix that. I'll teach you.
With what?
I put my hand up to his tail, and I guess it, if the bone got, fractured or whatever, it fixes itself.
Dude, I don't know if tails have bone.
They do have bone.
No, I meant like barbell tails.
It's a tail. It's gotta have something. It just isn't a sack of flesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause aren't like horse tails?
Well, yeah, but a barbell tail is
Or-
like a lizard tail, and lizard tails have
They do?
bones. Yeah.
'Cause I was thinking of like skinks.
How do they move them around? I mean,
Muscles.
obviously, they have muscles too, but they do have like things in them, or maybe the muscles.
I thought it was
That's
I
what
thought
a
it was like
dinosaur's
cartilage
tail
and
is.
muscle. Okay, yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying, but I was like generally curious as to whether or not lizards have bones.
I mean, some of them.
Lizards
It's
have bones.
cartilage. Is
Okay,
a
thanks,
bone,
Alex.
type of bone.
Hey, I'm just like, I'm the
Wait,
closest
Alex, you're
to
the bio major.
Exactly.
Answer the question.
Do they have
Have
bones in their
bones.
tails?
Yes,
Okay.
That's what I thought. But okay.
most do. You
Okay.
can move body parts with pretty much just cartilage, although you pretty much just see that in aquatic animals because there's no like strain.
I mean, we all have a body part that can be moved, and it's just cartilage, despite its nickname. Anyways, Talon's gonna kind of take a step back, like kind of jump back, I guess, and put one hand on his lightsaber. The hell was that?
Force healing. Ever heard of it? You're quite the interesting fellow. About to draw your lightsaber on a master.
So what? For all I know, you could be one of the Sith.
Ha! Sith. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Believe in ghost stories, do you?
Given part of my creed is to be taught in the event they come back how to handle them, I wouldn't be too surprised.
Ah.
Besides that, I've heard of that skill before, but it's supposed to be lost. It's not supposed to be something some random master would happen to know of, especially someone I've never heard of before. What did you say your name was?
Ah. Now see, you know how you do all this secret stuff?
He's just gonna be silent.
What's your name?
Didn't you already address him by Talon?
No, I just said
Oh.
sup, or hey. Obviously, if I addressed him with his name, there would be issues.
My name is Shaxalua Pilatix.
That's a long name.
It is.
There's a young, Padawan in the temple named Stanva. He knows how to do this.
Let's see.
His master and, a former disciple of his as well. If you're curious about it, you could probably ask them. I'm gonna roll to try and disappear.
Are you trying to... Do you want me to go see them and help them with something? Is that what this is about?
Oh, no. You're just a curious little fellow. Just thought I'd talk to you.
Talon? Yeah, Talon is still probably taller than you.
I know. That's the joke. He might be my age, too.
Alright, well, you don't have to worry about the Talon thing, sorry, disappearing, because Talon's inched over to the chute and he's just dropped down it.
Okay, I'm gonna head back to where they are.
Alright. You head back towards Kuna and Stanbot 2 and Talon. They are currently talking with Stanbot 2 since Talon kind of just dragged them off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you return.
Yo.
Oh, hey there.
Ugh,
took you
you
so
never
long?
changed Talon, do you?
But it was pretty horrifying, wasn't it?
Hmm? Oh, you? No.
You sure? Standbot 2 here sure thought it was, pretty damn scary.
Hmm? Also, what happened? I did. You were following me, and oh, this guy grabbed me. Oh.
Yeah. You know, I figured it wasn't worth the effort to go after you as well. What the hell did you go do? What did you
I
say?
just want to talk to you.
Yeah. What did you say?
Just, not very much. Poor guy broke his tail on a signpost. Saw me out of the corner of his eye and tried to get away. Fix it up for him, though.
Do you take pleasure in bullying Padawans?
Hmm? No. You
I do.
specifically.
Wait, what?
You wish to bully me? Is that it?
Are you gonna make yourself look super imposing?
Talon simply reminds Stanval of the time he threw him across the room thinking he was a hut.
Yeah, but I'd have a chance against that version. Oh
I
yeah, I
mean-
also told him about myself. Might be interesting to watch.
Suppose. I guess let's go meet Kuna's associates and try not to get arrested. Huh. This could be a strange night. I don't... Talon's gonna try and think back to whether or not he ever had an incident where he had to tail people at Bard's request. Something in an event like this.
All right, I'm actually kind of excited to improv this shit. These characters are fun.
Talon's gonna kind of be sitting off to the... He's not...
Alright, how do you guys dress?
Yeah, no, I would
normally.
have spent my time getting something.
Alex, you seriously are going to ask what Talon is dressed like?
Yeah.
I think you already know what Talon's going to do.
You going full Mandalore?
What?
No, he's just wearing his
Talon's going full Gecko again.
he's not existing.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll kind of have like an open comlink channel between like him and Kuna, so he can hear what's going on in the room, but he's gonna be outside.
Sure,
You
that's
can
fine.
hide in the room.
Well, I'm watching for law enforcement.
Perception check, but it'd probably fail. All right, yeah, that's fair.
That's what I'm sitting. I have an open link so I can hear what's going on in the room, right? And I can say, there's people coming.
All right. Would you like me to? Are you telling me this?
Yeah.
Oh,
So like it's like Kuna and Talon communicate this beforehand, and Talon's just gonna kind of be like up on a roof somewhere.
All right. Any security details. You know what? We'll make this more interesting. Any security details or any like backdoor emergency plans I would have cooked up, I'm gonna share them with Talon, so that he knows where we're
Cool.
going.
Got it.
Just in case, because I trust.
Yeah.
my
Oh,
partner.
I also give him the information about the bounties that I saw. Who has the bounty on him, the values of them, and the fact that the Demetra person was on Mandalore, and I found that really suspicious.
Okay. I can ask her about it if you want.
You can just kind of ask where they've been, and then, you know, if she mentions she was on Mandalore, you could try and find out what she was doing there. But you probably shouldn't lead on with, what have you been doing on Mandalore?
Listen, I'm the boss here. If I'm gonna ask what one of my
And one of your people sold out the fact that you exist. Don't forget that we went over that before. We figured that out. Regardless if it was a mistake in Alex's storytelling or not, we figured that out. So one of them cannot be trusted, if not multiple of them. And I doubt they're
How
going to be
dare
very
you insinuate
pleased.
I could have an oversight.
and
Yeah, no, he's bulletproof. Story is bulletproof.
and I would not find it strange for them to be like, oh, I'm going to lose a bit of power because of this guy. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, Alex, do you want me to roll a stealth check to hide on the buildings, or
Do you want to roll a stealth check?
will I win if I don't?
You will hide no matter what.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just going to hide then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Also, you should probably contact me first because Kuna might be in the middle of something important.
By the way,
Well,
you're
aren't you
gonna
gonna be in the room with him?
Stanbot as well
I am.
during the time?
I'm in the room.
Well, it could be an open comm link between all of you.
Yeah, this is gonna be kind of a before we go in kind of thing. Like Kuna's calling from some discrepant location.
The
he's
standbots are
gonna be
Kuna's
like-
bodyguards.
He's gonna be like, listen, this meeting is gonna be a little bit white collared, if you catch my drift, okay?
Looking
All right.
at the two people in Jedi robes.
Outwing and Rayloff can come hide on the roof with me.
I'm just throwing it out there. The goal is to remain business etiquette, but look inconspicuous. I'd prefer if you didn't look very Jedi.
Too bad.
Listen, I don't need eyes drawn. In Jedi, I figure you know this, but when you see Jedi in the streets, people tend to have pretty loose lips about that.
I mean, hang on, what exactly is Standbot wearing right now?
My normal Jedi
Which is
stuff.
what?
It's technically combat armor, but I've just been role-playing it as dressing like a Jedi the entire
Well,
time.
yeah, you have combat armor underneath of a robe, right?
Yeah.
You could get away with looking like a bounty hunter.
Or I just
Or just
go
a
in through
mercenary.
the back door where no one could see me in the first place.
Well, I think the idea is you're with Kuna during the
You're
meeting.
with me, so I care more
His
about
his
how
his
you
his colleagues is what he's worried about.
or how Talon works. Yeah.
His colleagues are worried about. He's worried about his colleagues identifying you as a Jedi,
Yes.
especially one that's probably seen you before. But if you were to like undo your robe a little bit, so it's just kind of resting on you like a cloak, and making your combat armor more prominent, you could pass off as just a hired gun.
Whatever.
I mean, if you don't want to, you can. It's up to you. I mean, it's up to you, but that's just my recommendation.
I'm gonna see how this goes.
All right. Cool.
All right, good luck, guys.
Yeah. I'll
All
see
right.
you inside.
Kuna, when do you want to arrive?
I'll bring it up at I'll say 6:40.
All right, so you arrive at 6:40, or are you arriving like fashionably late?
How important do I feel? You know what? Yeah, let's aim for the fashionably late, so they can have time to gossip and talk before I enter.
All right. You arrive with Stanvot, and Talon is hiding somewhere, having the open communication with you.
Hello.
The restaurant itself is extremely busy. The host at the front recognizes you. It says that one of your guests has arrived, and came through the back door, and is awaiting you.
All right. Well, best not to keep the busy people waiting, eh, Stanvant?
I guess not.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Good. That makes one of us. Let's go.
As you
Well, things go
follow
bad
the
for me. I
host,
just pull a sword, and I think things shut up quickly.
you move towards the back of the restaurant. You take a right through a hall, and there's a few doors lined up against the wall. He opens the middle one for you, and gestures for you to go in. He explains the specials to you as you're getting seated quickly. He seems rather nervous
All right.
with the rather large Deveronian sitting at the table.
That's fair. I'm going to put on the most like Dawn kind of attitude, kind of to say the least. I'm just gonna act as about mafioso as is humanly possible. as far as flavor goes.
Talon. Oh fuck! I just hit my fork and I just splashed rice all over myself. Talon could probably give you some pointers because he probably dealt with a couple of them.
Fair enough.
Just for flavor purposes. I don't know. Like if you want to roll on something like that.
I mean that's fine. I wanna live my mafioso life right now. So yeah, I'm gonna swagger with the exaggerated swagger of a black teen. Also,
With the exaggerated swagger of a black teen, you enter the room. The large Deveronian sitting there. He stands up, like, well, you must be the one we've all been waiting for. You know, Doc talks about you a lot.
I just kind of take my figurative bowler hat off that I totally got, and just kind of put it in the fold of my
You're
arm.
a fish.
And hey, I could do what I want. Put it in the crook of my fish arm, and say, "That'd be me." And I'll just kind of give a nod.
You don't seem like much.
And yet we're all here.
Well, the others are late, as usual.
Huh.
Doc is probably too busy doing one of his eclectic hobbies.
Yeah, you don't have to remind me. So what about you? I didn't catch your name on my way in.
I'm Jake. At least that's what they call me for short. I head up the Runners Guild on Corellia.
Do I notice any labyrinth coming off of him?
You notice that yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just
However,
gonna.
it seems it doesn't seem connected.
I'm
There's something off about it.
I'm gonna cut in here, because Talon did remember this. I don't know if you want to say Stanbot remembers this, but Talon did mention this to Stanbot a while back, and it was that when he was talking with this guy, he mentioned that the dude didn't. He was saying something like how he wasn't always a Deveronian, but then something changed him into one. And there were like some dregs of force coming off of him.
Yep, I remember.
So yeah.
Yeah. You and Talon, you went into his mind, or you did something to connect to him, and you felt like he was being manipulated through someone.
Is there a head to this table, so to speak?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, right.
I'm just gonna stand.
Tell
or
me,
the
Jake,
two
do you
standbouts are gonna
smoke?
stand behind him.
Yes, I do.
All right, a man after my own heart. And with that, I'll pull out the good shit, light up, and then offer to light up some of the good shit for this man.
He accepts graciously, taking a couple puffs. Like he nods his head. This is some good shit.
Agreed. And with that, I'll make my way.
Overall, Jacob, I can't even pronounce it. He seems he's pretty quiet overall. More conservative, in how he appears. He doesn't have a weapon on him, and neither does he have guards. Or you see any near him?
Which leads me to my next point of business. I wave over Stanbot, bring him
I'm
into
standing
conversation.
behind you.
Yeah, but you haven't been acknowledged until I wave my hand over to Stanbot and say, yes, this one's with me.
There's two of us, by the way.
These two are with me." And I just kind of gesture to the two of you and say what you want.
We're just gonna bow.
He bows back. As you guys are exchanging, talking a bit, the door slams open and enters a woman dressed in Mandalorian armor, holding a helmet, followed by three Mandalorians behind.
Did I see them enter the?
You can only see the front entrance. They probably came in the back.
Oh, okay.
These people came from back.
Yeah, they came from the back as Spencer had it set up. Yeah, so yeah, just you hear an audible sigh come from Jay when
I
she
believe
enters.
this is the
She
Mandalorian woman.
she doesn't even acknowledge you as she walks over to sit um opposite. So imagine like a rectangular uh that table.
Sure.
You're sitting at the head, which is the farthest away from the door.
Mm-hmm.
Jay sat right next to you on the left. On the left side. She sits on the back right.
Okay.
She
it?
slams the helmet down as she sits, kicks her feet up like who are you supposed to be?
I got a question. Is it related to Talon that that she has Mandalorians with her?
Yes.
Okay. In
I
that
assume
case,
this is
Talon's gonna be like, if you get the chance, try to send them outside.
okay. I just kind of when Talon whispers to me, I'm just gonna be like, what was her name again? Oh, you look
Demetra.
about Demetra. Okay.
Oh, Demetra. I actually don't.
Demetra.
How is it pronounced,
Demtra.
Alex?
Demetra.
Demtra. Okay.
Demtra.
Yep.
I'm glad you asked, Demtra. I would happen to be the one who has called this meeting tonight.
Ah, great. Nice place.
Yeah. I heard they serve the finest insert food here.
The finest insert food here. All right. Again, uh, Jay seems very, very awkward at this table. Um, very visibly intimidated by Demtra, like kind of not looking her in the eye.
Ooh, can I have a cool roll?
Sure.
Oh yeah. Let's see who can do the stare better right now. All right. I live my life for social combat.
Make it a hard check. So 3 purples.
Wow.
All right.
What?
Well, no, just like a wow. That's such a hard check for Kuna.
Yeah, Kuna's gonna really struggle holding this one down. I just have to make sure that I can't decrease that. No, just leaders. Damn. All right. Well, you said hard.
Yep.
Okay. Monk. The skill right. There it is. Any disadvantages? Bonk. One, two, three, four, five, six. Sorry, I don't use cool that often outside of combat. All right, let's go. All right, I did it. um, one, two, three successes and 3 advantage.
Cool. She looks at you, kind of glaring you, sizing you up. You stare back, and with your unyielding gaze, she diverts her eyes.
All right.
You win. You win the stare down.
Hey, does Kuna's species blink?
I don't know.
Because fish don't blink, do they?
No, they don't.
I'd like to imagine it was a stare down between like her making this grimacing stare and Kuna just standing there with like this dead fish face, like completely unreadable and unblinking.
No, I'm just gonna say I'm 99.9% sure fish don't blink, but I'm not 100, because it wouldn't make sense for fish to blink because of how why animals blink on land because like keeping them wet and moist because it obviously that's not an issue underwater. Plus their eyes work differently. Fish eyes are fucking whack.
I,
Um.
with
Anyway,
with that, I'm just gonna kind of after winning that small success and having a little mental hurrah, I'm gonna lean back in my chair a bit, just kind of get your Doctor Evil like seated position, except I'm missing my cat.
Yeah, she still has a arrogant presence and challenging one, but she takes her feet off the table after your stare.
All right. With that, I'm just gonna kind of go. Well, before the others arrive, how about you tell me a bit about how you've been doing so far? Let's start with you, Jake, and I'm just gonna cast my gaze over.
Business is good. I do mostly smuggling. Um, run pretty much every major smuggling operation that there is. Huts are causing some troubles, but it's not too bad. This war is keeping business good.
I'm gonna mute the mic when she says huts.
No, you guys just hear like an audible thud from
Oh,
like
that was
echoing
Jake.
echoing outside.
Oh, was that? Must have been the rain.
Well, he's not gonna have a negative effect because he already knows this guy. This guy hired Talon to kill a hut.
Mhm.
It's more, but it
Um,
is still like out of principle. He does like a whack with his tail when he hears the hut.
All right.
and then Demtra explains what she's been doing. Uh, it's been business has been fun. See her like a smile come across her face. It's like I've started a little bit of a coup. Or at least
Oh.
I'm helping a bit of a coup. Um, usually in the past I've been known for doing some assassinations, but I've decided to turn my efforts on my home world. Joined a little group called Death Watch.
Ah, all right.
Other than that, not much has been happening. As she finishes her talking, you hear a like a heavy footfall, followed by another, like normal sounding, uh, foot, but spaced about. So it's kind of like clonk, 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 clonk. It's this weird pattern of walking and
Ah, I
entering,
think I know.
opening a a sickly looking old man opens the door for a well dressed, malformed, twisted figure that enters into the room.
Ah, good evening, Doc.
Most of Some of his arm is visible on each arm, but the patches of skin are different. The hands themselves are different. One ends in talons, the other in a like weird webbed hand. One of his eyes is replaced with optics. The other one looks glazed over, like barely functional. He has a few different colors of hair. An ear is different from the other. He just and coming out of some of his clothes, you just see lumps and knots.
You seem fairly put together since I last saw you on Adronicus's ship.
Yes, I have many good organs.
Whatever happened
This
to the Pope?
oh,
Yeah, that's a good question.
he made quite a good heart for a while. And Doc chuckles to himself. Nah, I gave him back. I ransomed him after I
Good.
took a finger.
Doc, we talked about that.
What? I did what you asked.
I suppose. So,
Uh,
how's the years been treating you, Doc?
they've been long. This galaxy has been busy with wars, and wars give profit and organs.
Is that not the truth?
I see you've met her.
Yeah.
She's you're gonna grow to dislike this one. And Demtra just snarls back at Doc. So, any news on the kid? Where's Killian at?
Killian? Well, I'm gonna look over at my watch that I totally got for this occasion.
He's the most dapper fish you've ever seen.
You bet. My boss fish. I'm looking at my watch right now. You have no idea. Well, he is X time past whatever.
Oh, well, probably had a sugar crash.
Yeah, maybe not tucked in for bed yet. Has to ask permission to get back out.
You hear loud talking of a kid talking about his latest gambling exploit
All right, on
as
time.
the young Killian enters the door, sits at the table, and has to, in order to get his arms up on the table, his arms are now elevated.
I
His
did
head
not
just
get the
peeking
impression
over.
last time that he was actually that young.
He is very young. He's also just really short as well. He's young. He's 12, but he's just very short.
Start them while they're young, I guess.
You can hear Talon clicking his teeth in the background like he's debating whether or not he should run in and stab you for that one.
You cut out there.
Talon's
Hey,
clicking
or
his
what?
teeth in the background, debating whether or not he should run in and stab you for that one.
Fair enough. Well, it seems that we are here. Seems business has been kind to you all. I figured we.
Yes, sorry I was late. By the way, I had a very long gambling streak. It's a nice hot streak.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I will clean this city out in no time.
Well, you got to leave them with some money, or they won't keep coming back.
Nah, they'll sell their wives and children.
All right then. Has dinner come out yet?
Has anyone even ordered yet?
I assume.
Well, a first course arrives with salad.
Oh, fantastic. I'm gonna eat some of this salad.
Killian just kind of uses his hands and pokes at it with a fork every once in a while, getting food all over himself. Doc seems actually refined and eats things properly. Jake kind of just stares at it almost like, what the fuck is this? And Demtra, just not caring how she acts, eats away.
Alright. With that, I send a little whisper. I assume that Talon's picked up a lot of the conversation that's gone on so far.
Da.
It sounds like Demtra's doing some work back on Mandalore, as you might have heard. I'm just kind of whispering.
Yeah, see, did anyone else bring in guards?
Apparently, it's just me and the man.
Well, Doc. Well, yeah, the Mandalorians. Doc had has a couple sickly attendants. Jake did not bring anyone.
I think
Demtra does have a few Mandalorians with him, and Killian has a couple of attendants, but you know they have weapons, but they're actually standing outside the door. They're not in the room.
Yeah, I'd say try and convince them to send the Mandalorians outside. Talon wants to talk to him.
Killian kind of just like after he's eating, he kind of starts bouncing up and down like, oh, Demtra, I've got a bet for you. What do you want to bet? That I can throw a knife at Doc's hand and get right in between his fingers. Demtra looks back. I'll take that bet. What are you betting? 1,000 credits. Deal. Killian picks up a knife, one of the knives at the table, throws it at Doc, and it sticks right into his hand. Doc's like, you little shit! And he just throws his bowl, chucking it at Killian. Killian ducks and it hits the chair behind him.
Easy now, easy now. Killian, he just got that hand. He's gonna have to get a whole new one.
Yeah, and it'll be his if he does it again. Killian just laughs, almost rolling on the floor. And it's just like, oh, are you gonna pay up now? No, we didn't shake on it. The hearing the commotion, one of the servers comes in and just cleans up, no questions asked.
Good, they're not. Okay. I'm gonna just kind of quietly say to Talon again. Do you want me to? What do you want me to say to get him to come out?
That's completely up to you. Just maybe like something along the lines of, I don't see why any of us need guards in here. If you need to, you can portray Stanford as a business associate. Or try and send him out as well. I feel like he wouldn't be too happy about that.
I mean,
I am supposed to keep my man.
he's supposed to keep me from dying.
Yeah.
Although you could just bring me back.
Yeah, that is true.
Better if you don't die in the first place.
You know what? I'm a man. I'm a betting man. I'm willing to bet on this one.
I mean, you could probably just use cool to convince them that they don't need guards. That your friend is all that would be plenty to protect us all, or protect them all.
And with that, I look to everyone, and I can't show inferiority. I'm sorry. I think we don't need all these extra ears. And I just kind of gesture to Stanbots, to the Mandos, to the assistants, and everything. For our proceeding business ventures, perhaps we should leave our attendants outside for now.
I guess that can be arranged. Demtra says, well, then you need to get rid of those two.
Agreed. I'm no hypocrite.
I'm just looking at you like, are you? You sure?
Yep, I just wink.
Okay.
A little bit, so her eyes betraying her otherwise stoic visage show a bit of surprise. And she tells her guards to wait outside. And Killian's like, does that mean weapons too?
Well, I mean, I certainly have no need. I ceremoniously take my gun, hand it to my attendant, Stanbot, and say, I see no reason why any of you should as well. And I also get rid of any weaponry I have and give it to my attendant.
I feel like I can hear Stanbot's blood pressure slowly
Doc
increasing as being called attendant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jay doesn't have any weapons on him, so he removes nothing.
Right,
Doc, he instead assists Doc who's sitting next to him by helping him unscrew his leg and hands it over to one of the sickly attendants. And Doc also takes out a pistol, hands it over to the attendant. Demtra hands over a blaster, and Killian, being the spry young assassin he is, hands over a couple dueling pistols and a knife.
You know, I kind of thought Killian was going to have no less than 16 folded knives in various compartments in his coat.
No, we're not doing Skyrim inventory here. No one has 100 cheese wheels
No one has
somehow on them.
Talon could probably do it.
Skooma!
So is it safe to assume the Mandalorians are outside?
Yes, the Mandalorians are waiting outside.
Okay. Well.
Along with Killian's like bodyguards, and the sickly attendants are inside because if they were standing outside, they could probably die by a heart.
Would it be safe to assume that the two groups are like the Killians and the Mandalorians are probably standing a bit separate from one another, maybe in slightly different places?
Yes, but not far.
Would it be enough to
I mean,
obscure
they probably
vision?
had run-ins before. You would have to be sneaky. Like, yes, you could manage it, but you would have to be. You would definitely have to pass the heart.
Well, I imagine I could just drop down from the rooftops.
Okay, you're gonna knock out 3 Mandalorians. In
No,
armor.
I'm talking to them.
Plus food.
I want to talk to
Okay.
them.
Sure. And
So
so talking, the others would hear you. That doesn't mean they would act on it.
yeah, I'm. Well, my question is how because, in short, I'm going to try and convince them to.
Oh, there's a very easy way of doing this. Approach, show Darksaber.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to try and convince them just to swear loyalty to me as Mandalore the Great. So,
Sure.
I want to know how loud that would really be. I mean, there might be a bit of shock.
They would hear it.
I guess I could
They
walk
wouldn't
up.
just open fire, but they would hear it. Like, you're not threatening anyone, so they wouldn't open fire or anything.
All right. Well, I guess I'll kind of walk up. It's an alley, so I could probably come from multiple directions, couldn't I?
Tell Stan Vod I'm sorry.
As I walk out.
Ooh, could I get Stanvat to distract Killian's men?
Yeah, let me just
Yeah.
distract
You
everyone
could?
else.
Yes.
Thank you, Stanvat.
Okay, what do I roll for that? Can't be that difficult.
Just strike up a conversation with him.
You could literally just strike up a conversation.
Yeah, I'll start
That's
striking
all.
up a conversation with them.
Yeah, Talon's gonna
Okay.
kind of drop from the
Hey, you
rooftops
guys.
beside the Mandalorians.
Any interesting
Alright,
business lately?
Oh yeah, let Stanvat do his
No, I'm just saying that to start. I don't care what I'm saying.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
gonna pull
Okay.
He's gonna be able to do that better than I am.
So I kind of land beside them and kind of I guess have a slight hood on or whatnot, and I'm going to take a look at them. What is their kind of reaction? I guess like evening, gents. What's their reaction to me landing beside them?
A bit of act of surprise. They have their hands on their weapons, but they're not drawing them at you.
There will be no need for that. See, that armor is unmistakable. In fact, pulling down my hood, revealing the golden mask of Mandalore, it reminds me quite of my kingdom.
They, I guess, bow. Yeah, they immediately get down and essentially grovel at your feet.
It's good to know that customs continue, even though I've been gone for so long. Tell me,
Old one has returned.
I appreciate the recognition of who I am. Tell me, what are you doing here on Coruscant?
We're here for the meeting.
What meeting?
Our boss gathered them together.
Are you trying to tell me that someone else is giving Mandalorians orders?
Well, we need allies, don't we?
I suppose so, but
You haven't been on Mandalore in a long time if the legends are true.
please, tell me what I've missed, my kin.
The world has gone to a weaker future. It is not once the strong nation empire that you once knew. It's now weak and led by a government that conspires, those types of words, with Jedi, our enemy.
I kind of
They're
glare.
leading a weaker Mandalore.
I kind of glare him down, and say, "Tell me, what do you know about the day that I disappeared? Are you aware of what took place?" It honestly saddens me to hear you say such things. Are you aware that it was the joint forces of Mandalore and the Jedi who sought to defeat the greatest threat this galaxy has ever known?
The enemy of the enemy as my friend. I understand that. But that was then, and this is now.
I suppose. I guess people do change. Tell me, if I were to reappear on Mandalore, would other Mandalorians show me the same respect you have?
I doubt, with the new government in place and the way the world's been turned, I doubt they would recognize you. But
I see.
Some might believe in the legend and recognize that, okay, maybe there's a slight possibility, but that doesn't mean that they would relinquish any power that they have gathered for themselves.
Is there...
I can tell you that you would have the Death Watch's support.
I see. So, is your boss the leader of this Death Watch? Or is she merely a thicker cog?
She works with the leader of the Death Watch.
Is there any way you could... I actually can't think of the right term here. I almost said hook me up, but that doesn't sound like a good word to use.
I think that's a great word to use.
Hook up with Demtra.
No, not Demtra. No, that's not what I mean. Could you perhaps get me an appointment or a meeting? I don't know what the right term is. Like assemble a meeting with the leader of Death Watch.
Looks at Kuna, looks at South. Wow. What am I here for? It's like I could just.
What
say,
you?
"Hey, Demtra, there's interest. I need you to speak with this person," and then she'd be like, "Okay."
Well, she might. There's no guarantee. And also, I'm doing this under her nose.
Okay, I'm just.
Could you perhaps organize or contact your leader about possibly meeting with me? You don't have to tell him who I am if you do not wish. Though, if what you say is true, I imagine he'd be more than willing if you did.
Yes, with someone like you backing our cause with your power, we could easily topple the current weak state of Mandalore.
Very well.
And in its fire, build up a new, greater Mandalore. Back to the old ways.
It would be quite interesting to see that occur. However, nation building can often be rather difficult. But if what you say is true, I cannot permit this to carry on any longer. I guess I give them my comlink or something, my comlink ID or whatnot. When your leader has decided to meet with me, make sure to give me a call.
So call me maybe.
And with that, I'm gonna kind of, turning back. Before I kind of disappear, I'm gonna turn back. Oh yes, don't let the thicker cog know I was here. Referring to Demetra, or Demetra, whatever the fuck her name is. And with that,
Why would you not want her to know? You could change this entire.
I could, but
coup.
loose lips sink ships. Until I meet with your leader,
We're on the same side.
until I meet with your leader, there's no telling who truly can be trusted.
You see, Kuna won't know this. He might end up just slipping up and saying your name anyway.
Well, Talon was his... He didn't go by Talon Mandalore the Great. He went by his actual name. So if you say Talon, it won't matter.
Okay, but I was there when you got inaugurated as Mandalore the Great, so I probably would know that.
I suppose, but you don't casually refer to him as Shaxalua.
Alright.
So you might slip up and say Talon, but you wouldn't slip up and say Shaxalua.
Right, well, I could slip up, say Talon, and be like, oh, sorry, he goes by another name. Bam! You know?
Right. Anyways, and until I meet with your leader, I would prefer the less people who have known of my arrival be, you know.
Meanwhile, at the party, a wasted Kuna. Hey, so anyway, I met this red guy.
Wait, that was supposed to be part of my job. I'm not supposed to let you get wasted.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, we've been out, and I just kind of like raise up I guess I tell him that, and I kind of raise up a fist, and it's be like, so that we can bring glory to Mandalore. And with that, Talon's gonna disappear.
All right.
Do you want me to roll to disappear, or
No, disappear.
he's just kind of there, and then oh, you know what? I could very well just force leap out of their ability to tell where I am. So I don't know. That's I didn't realize how many applications that has outside of combat.
Yeah, it's just called absolute fear.
Yeah, just a
You
slight
are
dent
the
in the
most
ground.
anime fucking character I've ever seen.
That's what the enhanced tree does to you.
I've gone anime. Now I cannot go back.
Talon has the powers of anime and the Force on his side.
Basically, God and anime.
He's just a JoJo character.
I am become God. Right. So yeah, Talon's gonna get back to watching. Very pleased with what he has heard.
Alright, stand by on the corner of your eye. You kind of see Talon disappear.
I think it's more accurate to say he sees the indent and dust, like resulting dust cloud from Talon launching himself.
Well, this was a good conversation. Thank you.
Killian's men turn back to each other and kind of do some basic bets. They pick up
So,
like some scrap on the street and try to throw it into a bucket.
so how's it going in Kuna's room?
Yeah. How's Kuna and his family doing right now? Me familia right now.
Jake has kind of played damage control between the three talking to each other. Killian is at one point was just running around the room just screaming.
Oh,
We've
God.
all seen it.
Demtra was mainly arguing with Doc. Doc was talking about yada yada yada, I'll harvest your organs if you don't stop. The classics.
Yep, the absolute cult classics. Alright, with that, I'm gonna try and, I guess, call attention again over the room. Just kind of get their attention before I go to say anything else.
When you call for attention, Killian just kind of runs towards the door. It's like, oh, I think he's here finally. Excited, like, Doc says, finally, Moldov.
Oh, right on time.
Moldov enters a rather familiar-looking face. Kind of, you don't know where you've seen him before. Something about him looks familiar.
Huh.
He steps in.
Would
Kind
Stan?
of makes a fun little
I'm
jab
not there,
at.
remember?
Well, yeah, but
Makes
you
a
were.
little jab towards Killian, and tell him to sit back down, and Killian listens to him.
So
Even Demtra seems to give him a little bit of respect, but not a whole hell of a lot.
I throw this out
All
there.
that look like.
Oh, Stanvot probably would have seen him walking in because Stanvot is near the back entrance where he would have entered from. So does Stanvot recognize him?
Sure, we'll say, yeah, he did enter through there. Stanva, you recognize him from when you raided the Black Sun headquarters. Well, the Shadow Syndicate headquarters.
On Mustafar?
Yep. He was one of the people in the main room. Not one of the ones that attacked you or even moved to attack you. What was there?
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna do much right now because we have the whole.
Sure. Oh yeah, I guess you wouldn't be familiar to Kuna. Fuck. Never mind. Kuna, you don't
Yeah.
recognize him.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I'd be like.
Actually, yeah, we'll say maybe he was at Mandalore. Yeah, we'll say he was on Mandalore. Maybe you saw him.
All right. Well, he's one of those pantsing guys you might have seen.
Yeah.
I got it. All right.
Yeah. He enters, greets you politely, so excited to get to know what plans you have.
All right. Well, with that, suppose we should. It's been quite some time, as Doc could probably account, since I've last shown myself publicly. If there's any questions as to myself, I would fully understand as a stranger treads your mist. Seek to maybe
Dentra,
elucidate that.
Dentra says, so Doc mentioned to us when we were promoted individually. How the hell do you expect us to believe that you somehow went through time? Do you have anything to prove this?
Well, outside of the food and drink you have, the gathering of us all here, and I just kind of eye them all and the profits you've made, the coin that's been flowing. I'd say I've left a pretty indelible mark upon this organization, maybe a little more so than you would know.
I guess the details of time travel doesn't really matter if it's successful.
Not really.
Then why? Like, what do you want from us?
What's the end game?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I find that rather interesting myself. Where do each of you see the end game? Where do each of you see this organization going?
The way Jay pipes up, the way we've been operating is kind of independent. Doc kind of keeps us all together. We each have our own goals.
Oh, well, I'm all ears. Goals to all are goals to me, so.
They go through their goals. Jay wants to just kind of set up a galaxy-wide trade networks. Make them like legitimized. Some, under table dealings. But his business, his part of the organization is kind of the cornerstone of the whole thing. Because his has legitimacy to it.
Yeah.
Still, if you look into it, there's shady shit going on. But there's enough legitimacy behind it to make your business legit if shit goes wrong. Demtra is all about, her goals all include just anarchy. She basically gets behind any cause that could topple a planet or a government and takes the spoils. Killian just kind of cleans house with everyone, just setting up gambling. And Moldov is the main hit list guy. When the organization has a problem, he's the one who goes and takes care of it.
He cleans up.
Yeah. And from what you've gathered from Killian, probably during conversation, talking about his skills at some point, he says that Moldov has been training him to help in that.
And what does Moldov want?
He doesn't really say. It's money.
Money?
That's the only thing he says. But in your experience, you can tell that there is some sort of motivation
Behind there that he's not quite coming out with yet.
It's probably, from what you can gather, it's probably something more personal to him.
Okay.
Not grand scale.
That
maybe a specific target that he's working up towards. Maybe, revenge.
That could be useful. I might prod with that later. All right. I guess hearing everyone's kind of plans for what they like to do, I'm just going to come out and say, and all of this is very within realms of what the start of this organization has been for. It's not so much of an individualist or a conglomerate as it is an individualist organization, and I see no reason why your goal should be hithered or rendered unattainable. However, as all of you have goals, I as well have goals. And perhaps through our support, we can see to tidy these all up.
And how do you suppose that?
Well, Ocean's 11 joke. As you can see, all of us here are fairly skilled individuals in our own right. I nod to Demtra, assassinations, and anarchy, and I nod over to Doc, as it would seem, medical expertise as well as overall organ trade. Yeah, I nod to Killian. A bit of subterfuge and overall a little bit of cheekiness and gambling, of course. And I then go over to Jake and I say a fair bit of, let's say, mercantile weight, as I would like to say. And is there anyone I'm missing? Maldev. I kind of gesture to Maldev and I say, a damn fine solo. As you would know.
Yeah. He really is.
And I say, now tell me, hearing this group of individuals yourself, do you think there's something we can't accomplish? And myself, a bit of a, let's say, conversationalist.
So then what's your goal?
What do I want? Well, you see, and I just kind of kick back, and I just kind of envision a bit, just kind of like the criminal enterprise, like the idea as a whole. I want control. More than anything, really. I want control over, and I'm just going to say, over the huts trade, over this trade, over who hears who does what. I want my fingers in pies, so to speak.
Well, as I've mentioned, Demtra speaks up. I have been working on Mandalore. I feel like a little bit more time, and we could call that government our own.
Ah, yes, about that. And I'm gonna just
No.
shift my weight a bit and look over at Demtra.
The answer is no, Kuna.
You didn't say anything to me. God damn it.
True.
I'm on a comm link with you.
Alright, well,
Talon knows where this is going, so he says no, Kuna.
Okay, you say.
Yeah, he's like, Kuna, no.
Okay.
But how will you stop him?
Alright, listen. I'm not gonna do any name drops. Does that work?
No.
Alright. Yeah, I'm not gonna do any name drops.
I don't trust her at all. I don't think she's at all trustworthy, so.
Alright. So you don't even want me to mention the possibility of an interested party.
You could mention it. You could mention an interested party, but you cannot mention that Mandalore the Great has resurfaced.
Fine. Alright.
Nor who I am. Like,
That's fine.
you could say there's an interested party that could help, but.
That's fine. I'm just gonna shift my weight and go with what I've already had. I happen to have overheard of some other interested party who it would seem will speed up this task on Mandalore. You shan't need much more assistance in that matter.
Okay. I'd be
Let's
glad
just-
to meet them.
I'm sure you would. Let's just say you get to hearing things after being gone for a couple centuries.
Few millennia. Actually, multiple millennia.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, your interests are my interests, of course. I care dearly about each and every one of you as if you were of my own family. In that case, should there be any problems or any other issues you would have need of my assistance, please call. And I would expect the same out of any other family member if I were to also do the same.
They all finish up the conversation. Otherwise, the rest of the dinner goes well. Molotov kind of brings a calm to the place. Still, a lot of weird stuff goes down, and usual arguments happen.
I'm sure.
But otherwise, it's pleasant. You get a good feeling for how different people act and their motivations. Yeah, it ends without a major incident.
Good. Okay. Whew. That could have went worse. All right. I guess checking in and seeing that we're starting to round out the night, I'm just gonna kind of call that last attention again and stand up from the head of the table and say, "Now we're all fairly busy individuals, and well, there's an empire to run." And with that, I shall nod and put on my dapper fish bowler hat and exit out of the back door and say, "Excuse me."
They kind of cheers some alcohol they had. Killian goes to take the shot he has, but Molotov blocks it with his hand and takes the glass away.
Yeah, probably good. All right. And with that, I will be the first to leave, I guess. Out the back door.
Not scientifically possible.
What do you mean?
Talon's already
Fishman
outside.
is too slow. No, Fishman's too slow.
Fishman too slow.
Okay,
I
that
think
true
Dom
too,
might
but no,
be the
Talon's
quickest
already
Mark.
outside. So.
Oh, most likely. All right.
Do you want to step outside and just have Talon like drop down, grab you, and jump back up?
Yeah, let's be mysterious.
Like you guys are walking
Alright,
out.
no evac.
You guys are just walking out, and you're just like, my right is here.
You know what? I'll fucking do that. You know what? You want to get all fancy with it? I will turn as the doors to the room are open, and just kind of wave and say, "Till next time." And with that, Talon, the absolute ninja ballerina.
Yeah, just fucking slams into the ground behind you, grab you under like one arm, and then force leaps to like a building across the street.
Just looks like Kuna vanishes from the motherfucking party.
So now Talon is also Heimdall, just a Bifrost.
No, Talon just teleports behind Kuna, and then just teleports away. Yeah, basically.
Pretty much.
Alright, I think I'll end it there. I think that gives a nice wrap to the kind of side things. So